Greetings and welcome to the United States Transhumanist Party Virtual Enlightenment Salon. My name is Gennady Stolyarov II, and I am the chairman of the U.S. Transhumanist Party. Here we hold conversations with some of the world's leading thinkers in longevity, science, technology, philosophy, and politics. Like the philosophers of the Age of Enlightenment, we aim to connect every field of human endeavor and arrive at new insights to achieve longer lives, greater rationality, and the progress of our civilization. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the special Virtual Enlightenment Salon, which will be airing on Sunday, June 19th, 2022. And joining us today is a distinguished panel of U.S. Transhumanist Party officers, including our Director of Applied Innovation, David Shoemaker, our Legislative Director, Jason Geringer, our Director of Longevity Outreach, Ben Ballweg, and our special guest for today, who also happens to be our Director of Foreign Relations, Sharif Uddin Ahmed Rana. And Sharif is a distinguished individual. He has been our friend and ally for a long time now, since 2020. He possesses more than 12 years of progressive experience as a researcher, talent economist, designer, system thinker, entrepreneur, mentor, educator, policy analyst, and innovator in data and AI. He is dedicated to the dissemination of knowledge, mentorship, and human success. And furthermore, he develops his expertise based on sustainability as applied to people, projects, and policy analysis. He enjoys working with diverse youth populations and is enthralled by the opportunity of developing optimal educational practices. He has published papers in leading international journals based on modeling and analysis of primary data developed strategies, and he has consulted companies on project management and business development. He is a passionate faculty member who has won awards for excellence in experiential teaching. His current research interests include the integrated world of sustainable development goals, education and entrepreneurship, people and project management, and impact investment. And he is best known for his World Talent Economy Forum and the numerous video interviews, conversations, discussions, debates that he holds in that venue. And I have been a guest on the World Talent Economy Forum program, as have many of our other U.S. Transhumanist Party officers. And if you are a longtime member of the U.S. Transhumanist Party, you have surely seen some of Sharif's programming. So we're very happy to have Sharif on today as our guest to talk about his endeavors, especially with the World Talent Economy Forum. And with that, Sharif, please go ahead. You have the floor.
Thank you, sir. First, I would like to give thanks to Transhumanist Party, because when I started this project, this World Talent Economy Forum, I get a lot of support from all of the members from Transhumanist Party, all of the officers, everyone. Until today, I get a lot of support because you join in our forum as a guest. So actually, World Talent Economy. What is talent economy? I just want to share, because I'm from developing nations. My audience, my people is completely different. And I'm very happy that I get chance to work with transhumanist parties. And in Asia Pacific, especially in developing nations, I also share transhumanist parties' views, political view, philosophy, activities. And I find especially young, talented people, they are very positive about Transhumanist Party. What is the reason behind that? I'm actually from a political family. My father, my grandfathers, my uncles, everybody actively involved in politics. But I never joined. Why I do not join? Because I find that at present situations, we need something different. We need something like people are interested about modern science, engineering, and technologies. People has less hope about politics. But when I join with Transhumanist Party, I find that my visions, like what I call talent economy, and Transhumanist vision is completely different. My audience is different because I'm from developing nations. My audience is grassroots level people, and they need more of your support. And when you people, especially different officers, chairmen from transhumanist parties, different scientists join in World Talent Economy Forum, actually it's create inspiration to the youth community in Asia Pacific. In Asia Pacific, around the world, 40% people live in Asia Pacific. And beside that, 57 to 60% actually youth, those who are under 30 years old. So my target is 30 years old peoples, those who can contribute more, those who can help us more, those who can go for more innovations, and we can build a new nations. So that's why I believe that transhumanist party objective and talent economy objective is same, but we are heavily involved with grassroots level people. And after 2020, because of all of your support, because I want to give special thanks to all of the transhumanist parties people, all of the people from around the world, those who join World Talent Economy Forum, because try to understand where I am from. I am from a country, very small country, Bangladesh, and even very small village. It's called Rajbari. But I find globally there are a lot of good people. We have a lot of opportunities. We can connect each other. We do not have any difference. We can, as a human, our thought process and everything same. But what we get as an opportunity in the developing world, when I grow, we do not have electricity. We do not have proper healthcare. We do not have proper education. We do not have proper transportations. Nothing, nothing. But from there, we step by step, with our hard works, we grow our nations. What we call uplifting society. So, what actually give us more opportunity? This is important. Let's say we need more scientific involvement. We need more innovations. We need more help from developed world. Developed world has resources, they have money, they have knowledge. I'm not looking for money. I'm big fan of your knowledge. How you develop your policy, this is important for us. You know that we have a very important projects happening in India. We are uplifting 15 villages. So in these 15 villages, we have 30,000 people, grassroots level people. So, me personally share your policy that this is the futuristic policy. You can implement it, you can apply it, and they're happy. They start, oh, this is the way we can work. So that's why next year we have our conference, Nikola Tesla Technology Conference in India. Why I'm doing it in India? Because of my audience. My billions of people live in South Asia. So this is the way step by step we are growing. Yes, before I starting this World Talent Economy Forum, last 14 years I contribute for educations. I engage with millions of people, both in the developed nations and developing nations. I visit many universities. When I visit UK, I only visit universities. When I visit Germany, I only visit university. When I visit Singapore, I visit university, because education is the passion. I get it from my family. And beside that, I find for the developing nation is very, very strong strategy. If they can educate themselves, they can develop themselves, then they can contribute. And I know my people are hardworking. They have lack of opportunities, but my people has honesty and sincerity. If we can give proper support, they can achieve their objective. So that's why actually Transhumanist Party and talent economy, no difference. Trust me, how we work, how we engage with the community, no difference. Only thing, my audience. And remember, around the world, more than 3 billion people in grassroots level, in remote area, more than 3 billion people. We have to do a lot of work. So yes, because of our hard workings and consistency of the World Talent Economy Forum, all of the support, every week, Mr. Schumacher joined World Talent Economy Forums. Every moment we get support from transhumanist parties and all of the different organizations. So example, in Malaysia, we are developing our skill college, and we have a good news. Let's say Transhumanist Party actually advocate for modern science, engineering, and technology. So in Malaysia, construction industry and plantation industries, they are actually heavily dependent on drone technology and artificial intelligence. And we are creating 100,000 drone pilot in Malaysia and from remote area. We are visiting Sabah, we are visiting Sarawak, and we are creating job for them. Government support our initiative. We need cyber security expert, we need artificial intelligence expert, because Malaysia is a very big hub for manufacturing. So all of the things what you are actually discussing every Sunday, what you are working, we are doing beside this dialogue. So Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam, China, India, Bangladesh, Africa, Rwanda, we are engaging with millions of grassroots level people, and only our focus is educations, and we focus in modern science, engineering and technology. And I want to say we are getting a very very good positive response this month. Central Bank of Malaysia and Central Bank of Bangladesh, they are collaborating with World Talent Economy Forum. From Bangladesh Energy Ministries, they have 55,000 employee. Actually Bangladesh Prime Minister, actually Minister for Energy and Mineral Resources, they are collaborating with us. We are providing them training for Industry 4.0. So why I'm discussing too much of project? We need support. We need intellectual community like you. We need smart people like you. We have hungry people. Now we need smart trainer. We need smart people who can help my hungry people, who can help my grassroots level people, who can help these developing nations. And most important thing is that I am a really, really big fan of your political view. This world need you, because without politics, you cannot change your society. You cannot do anything. And I'm very happy. I get a very, very good people in Transhumanist Party. So people has to know more about you, know more about capacity, know more about your capabilities. Then more good people come, and we can collaborate together, and we can change our society.
Thank you very much, Sharif. That was an excellent introduction, and we certainly appreciate all of the efforts you put forth at the World Talent Economy Forum to reach demographics that otherwise would not have encountered these ideas about the application of emerging scientific and technological advancements to craft better policies, to improve people's lives, not just incrementally, but also in paradigm shifting ways, allowing people to enter the next era of our civilization where hopefully poverty and material scarcity and conflict will not be their fates. So, along these lines, Sharif, a question I have for you is what tools do you use to reach people who don't have reliable internet access, or perhaps might not even have reliable computer access in their households? And what is the scale at which you're able to reach them? How many people and in what parts of the world?
Yeah, actually, from our side, it's actually a long story. I told you, last 14 years, I'm in academy, and we involve with hundred of millions people. We have people in developing nations everywhere. Example, I'm discussing about India, right? One of my team, very big team, 40 mentors and around 100 peoples. They are actually working inside India. So we have a physical office in Malaysia. From Malaysia, we are providing them our team, those who have available internets and everything. They get our support. They took it, and they go to the remote area, directly go to the remote area. And this remote area, they actually not only sharing this dialogue, we are actually taking action. What we learn from there, let's say I am learning the transhumanist concept and I apply it. My people applying it. Let's say we are developing startup on drone technology. We are developing startup on cyber security. We are developing startup on social entrepreneurship. So whatever we learn, because different idea actually coming to us, different important aspect actually you people are actually bringing to us. Healthcare is very important. Longevity is very important. we are advocating with the grassroots level people. So how we working practically? Let's say my team, I'm working in Malaysia. I have one team in Delhi. My Delhi peoples and Kolkata people, they're moving to the grassroots level people with all of the equipments and everything because they do not have enough internets and everything. And beside that, we are applying. Let's say we are thinking how we utilize our resources, local resources properly, because right the way we do not get access from internets from big companies or anything, but we have our own resources, we have our natural resources, we have our own communities, so we have our agricultural resources, so we utilizing it and we applying it. This is the way actually we are working. But many countries, let's say Malaysia has very good internet facilities. Even if you go to Sabah, Sarawak, it has good facility, no problem at all. Singapore definitely have, Indonesia have, India, Bangladesh also have. Now internet actually available for everyone, but some kind of point still they need support. So if you have a better strategy for us, you can. But offline, we have a very good team, very positive people. We have professors, politicians, doctors, engineers, young people, lot of people actually helping us a lot. And thing is that when we organizing this dialogue, we understand the inside story of USA. We can understand the inside story of research lab. We learn every time, every moment we are learning. So if you visit my campus, you can see that we actually equipped our college in a proper way, because every moment we are very much open, we love to learn. And yes, even different countries actually, prime minister office, let's say Bangladesh prime minister office, it's called A2I for innovation, they are actually helping us for this Nikola Tesla technology conference. India also helping us. So we are also getting support from different important departments. Everybody want positive change. We need positive people, positive attitudes, and positive thoughts. It can change society.
Yes, thank you very much, Sharif, for answering that question. And I'm curious, when you share, especially the ideas of transhumanism and the kinds of conversations that we have held within the US Transhumanist Party with your audience from developing countries that may not have frequent internet access but are getting some access to this information through the World Talent Economy Forum, what reactions do you receive? How do people respond to these ideas?
One thing, people want change. That is very important. You have to understand the mindset. And technology actually help us a lot. Let's say in my yesterday session, I discussed these things. Like, many people actually criticize technology and transhumanist concept. I think in that way. Malaysia, many young people, they lose their job in COVID situation. Many. But because of technology, they get job opportunity. I am talking about drone technology, right? So now we need 100,000 drone pilot in Malaysia for construction and plantation industry. Only we have 2,000. So 98,000 more opportunity come. This is the things actually you are discussing, right? The Transhumanist Party. Technology can help us. Technology can grow. Technology can create opportunity. Modern science, engineering, and technology. So people can judge. People can understand. When I'm like from day one, we are sharing our content with our people. The same thing you are discussing, and we are applying in the real life. So I say, hey, the transhumanist concept, talent economy concept, actually same, and you see the result. Because if I only go for talk and I do not take any initiative, nobody trusts me. I need to work. So and I say, hey, this is the opportunity for you. You want to take? If you become a very good drone pilot, you can earn a very good amount of salary. Do you want to take this opportunity? They say, hey, yes, I want to take. So what we are discussing, we are doing. So, and people get more trust. People get more like Trust me, when I started this World Talent Economy Forum, I lost my job. At that time, I'm doing PhD. My corporations, they said, I cannot pay for you. Okay, I start my work. I focus on World Talent Economy Forum. You can see I have my campus. Now I have my full people. I have my full support from everywhere. Because of what? Because of technology. Even I'm getting support because of technology. So very simple. When people see that they have change and they get change and it's a positive change, people take it positively. So I believe transhumanist all concept is very positive, but they need some result. When people get the result, they will believe on it and they will move forward. So that's why I request we are organizing conference on Nikola Tesla technology. I send invitations to everyone. I will be really happy if you join because it's not only conference, it's for human progressions. I told you like millions of people we are engaging and we are uplifting our grassroots level people. So if they personally can meet with you, they will be more happy. If personally they can work with Transhumanist Party, they will be more happy. If they get more support for their knowledge development, they will be more happy. So that is the way we are working. And I feel that how we getting support, how we getting collaborations and positive response, trust me, together in few years we'll be very, very positive organization and example for the global community.
Thank you, Sharif. And we have posted a link here to the conference page for Advances in Nikola Tesla Technologies in the 21st Century. That is the name of the conference. Could you tell us more details about this conference? When and where will it be held? What will be some of the subjects? And is it all going to be in person, or would there be a virtual option to attend for those who are unable to travel to India?
Yeah, sure. It's actually hybrid. We actually getting a very good palace from India. I said that I do not have money or anything, but the local government, local agency, they say, hey, come on India. This is a big palace. Use it. I said, okay, give us. So it's a very interesting palace. It's called Jhargam Palace near Kolkata. We will organize it. So those who want to join there, they can join. Many Bollywood superstars for social night, they will join with us. So it will be very interesting conference for us. It's in Nikola Tesla because Professor Adrian, we are working with Nikola Tesla technology and already BBC promote our initiative. And it's actually all of the innovations of Nikola Tesla, like our topic including power semiconductors, automation, circuit, control, electric power generation, electric vehicles, electric engineering, electrical measurements, electronics, microwave, mobile computing, photonics, all of the innovation. You know that Nikola Tesla has a lot of innovations. So we are actually uplifting these things and we are inviting around 25,000 scientists from around the world. So it will be hybrid. You can join online and you can visit. Actually, offline, we only can accommodate in the palace around 45 people because this is very exclusive palace. And beside that, the grassroots level people, the people near Jhargram, because it's actually King's Palace, everybody joining. Joining means if you have innovation, they are happy to join in your innovations and you can integrate your innovations or technology with the grassroots level people. This is the beauty of these things. It will be hybrid, so you can, I know that COVID is a big concern, so you can join online. We are happy to invite all of you. And offline we have initiative, but I can inform you, let's say I'm discussing about Bangladesh Energy Ministry, right? 55,000. So as Nikola Tesla majorly focus on electric engineering, so Bangladesh governments, especially energy ministries, they need to train their people, their employees. They have 55,000 employees. So, and I want to welcome everyone from Transhumanist Party who want to join as a trainer, as a mentor, as a researcher, because developing nations need a lot of support. I always say not only for money. Money is different thing. I do not looking for that. All of my initiative 100% free. It's 100% free. But your knowledge is very special for us. Your knowledge is very important for us. And I'm sure if we can contribute together, you will be part of history. So this is the way. Now, let's say Bangladesh central bank coming, Bangladesh energy ministry coming, India coming, Pakistan also they are responding. Jordan, especially, you know that Dr. Talib Rafal, UN WTO Secretary General, they are also joining with us. So different developing nations, Malaysia government joining with us. So this is the way we are working, and we are getting very positive response, very positive response from developing nations.
Thank you, Sharif. And I find it a fascinating premise to have a conference devoted to the technological areas that Nikola Tesla worked on, and essentially to get an updated view as to the status of these technologies in the 21st century. So I think this would be quite
Tesla's
intriguing.
My hero.
Yes, Jason, please go ahead and pose any questions or comments you would like.
Yeah, Tesla is, my hero. And if he would have, the technologies would have came out when he brought them out, if he would have been good like Edison at marketing and stuff, or like Elon, we'd live in a whole different world by now. We'd probably have flying cars. It's just crazy. We'd probably have free electricity. He wanted to electrify the whole world for free. So yeah, I would love to talk more about his stuff. So I'll probably be there at the conference if you invite me. I was thinking it might be a good idea to try to get some of the ambassadors together to go to your conference, to the USTP, and we can maybe have a little gathering. I just want to say, Sharif, I'm a big fan of yours personally, actually. I mean, you're an animal as far as your work ethic. I mean, geez, you got like 500 shows in not that long of a time. I mean, that was, and you've managed to collect a group of really smart people like Donald Steiny and Rob Enderle and David Smith. Those guys are brilliant. I mean, I'd love it if they would join the USTP, but I haven't approached that because they're smart. They'll know, and maybe they'll just But anyway, so back to you. I'm good. Thanks.
Yes, I've participated in debates with Rob Enderle and Donald Steiny. We were on different sides of each debate, but that was by design, and it was quite an interesting experience. Certainly, both of them are skilled at arguing their points and communicating ideas from science and policy. And I will note we have posted here the link to the World Talent Economy Forum YouTube channel. I would encourage everyone to go and watch one of the several hundred shows, or many of the several hundred shows that are on that channel right now. That channel needs more views, and hopefully this will be an occasion on which more of our audience could discover Sharif's very regular programming. Now, I would like to turn the floor over to David Shoemaker for his remarks.
Yeah, I wanted to take the opportunity to follow up on these comments about the team that you've built, because it's a very diverse team. We find a lot of different viewpoints. Gennady mentioned debates. You're going to have at least two sides of debate there, but many times on your regular shows, you'll have people coming at the issue that you're talking about from 3, 4, perhaps even 5 or 6 different viewpoints. And you somehow manage to keep this team together, and you somehow seem to manage the conversation. And I'm just curious, what's your magic?
Okay, one of the interesting things, because Mr. Gennady just informed about debate. So when I was student, like undergraduate student, I'm a lifelong learner, but when I was undergraduate student, so that time I started debating in my university. And I said, I'm from a small country and I'm from a very small place. Yes, all my members is highly educated. That is positive things for me and blessings for me. So when I started debating, that is another interesting story, that I start losing every debate. Every debate I lost. My debate team is new, United International University, what you are discussing right now, World Talent Economy Forum. I lost everywhere. First year I lost. I just wait if I can win at least one debate. Second year I lost every debate, hundred of debates I lost. So people say that failure is the pillar of success, and some people say, hey, his pillar now become full building. Then third year I start to win my debate. Okay, so then we start to winning the debate. We win national debate championship. That time is very prestigious in my country. We win national television debate championship. All of the prestigious debate we start winning. We go for international debate, world debating championship in Oxford Ivy, in the Cambridge Ivy, all of the prestigious debating we are joining. And 2012, you can see Bangladesh become world debate champion. And I also member of this team. Harvard University, this, that, everywhere we win. So this actually teach me a lot. Even when I started my career, I start with very small with Cambrian Education Group, only 20, 24 students. So I told you, first year very bad, second year worse, third year I'm getting something, and in between 7 years I get 10,000 students. So these are the experience I get from my personal life. So I never give up. I get a lot of criticize. I get a lot of rejections. I never give up. Never. Let's say the debating, I lost everywhere, but finally we win against Harvard University. So this is experience for my life. And from there, I learned there are many good people around the world, like Transhumanist Party, many good professors, many good, actually, trust me, actually developed world and developing world, if they work together, it can be a great revolution. Problem is trust. We do not trust each other. We cannot trust each other. Asia Pacific, Western world has misunderstanding. I always say there are many good people. So we have to find out the good people. So I'm just looking for smart people, good people. We have a lot of hungry people. When hungry people, hardworking people, and smart people, they work together, they become number one. They become champion. The team become champion. So that is the things actually World Talent Economy Forum I'm doing. And I told you from my personal life, I lose a lot. I never give up. That is the things I am actually applying.
Well, I would say that maybe from your debate experience, you've learned that there's a lot of different sides to an argument, and maybe losing isn't always losing. You've had your opportunity to get your thoughts out there. Anyway, congratulations on putting a great team together. I think you touched on one other thing too, which is the trust issue. And I was wondering if you wanted to take a moment and speak to what you might see as any misconceptions from the more developed world about the developing world. Are there some things that we in the developed world don't understand that keep us from helping as much as we could?
Very important. As I engage with developing nations always, and I work with grassroots level people, I just want to give a very good example from my family experience. My father was freedom fighter. So in 1971, USA government, they do not want independence Bangladesh, like new Bangladesh, they do not want politically. On the other hand, I learned from my father, there are many good people inside USA. They develop concert for Bangladesh, and financially and many ways they support Bangladeshi people. Right? In same country, two different things. What I learned from this thing. So I learned from my father, yes, USA also have many good people. Europe also has many good people. Try to engage with good people. So example, I'm very honest with you. Let's say why we need more dialogue, why I go for 500, 600 episode, right? It's very tough, not easy. Every day, let's say from 7 a.m. I start like my work, 8 I finish, I go 1 hour drive, I go back to my home, start my World Talent Economy Forum. Very tough, not so easy. Look how the misconception and everything is coming. let's say religion is good, but there are many uneducated people. They actually misguiding people. It's true that in the grassroots level, people they are very much religious, right? Very much religious, and because of their economical conditions and everything, Western world or developed world they do not. So they also have dialogue, right? What we call that religious dialogue and everything. Thousand and thousand people actually engage with this kind of dialogue. What happened this kind of dialogue? I personally I engage and I know in that kind of dialogue what we call wars or religious things. But people are innocent. Try to understand. 90% people actually innocent. They do not understand what is good or what is bad. But these people, these religious people, or this kind of political people, they always misguide these grassroots level people. Always. That's why they say Americans are bad. These people are bad. These people are bad. They're taking my money. They're taking everything. These many things. But I give them example. Hey, when I organize this World Talent Economic Forum, nobody actually getting any payment from me. They do it free. They do it free. So it's not true. American people run only behind money. They do a lot of volunteer things, right? But this is grassroots level perception. You cannot change overnight. But I'm creating example because all of the time you see that many American people, European people, scientists, UN people, they're joining. So I said that what you are thinking, this is not true. They are very helpful. If you have to seek help, that okay, please help me. I want to learn these things. Please help me. I want to develop my career in this way. Please help me. So this is actually one of the grassroots level misconception. Second things, this is another thing is more like political. Politically also, this gap actually come because of business, because of misunderstanding, because of political issues, right? Let's say China, USA has conflict. Recently, India and USA has misconception. So that's why I want to see a bigger picture of Transhumanist Party. I want to see the Transhumanist Party can involve with more people. They become more popular. They become more influential. This is not bad because if you have a right knowledge and if you know that your knowledge is ultimately good, let's say you have a lot of longevity expert. I need support for that. My people need that kind of healthcare support. My people need strong involvement with this kind of research. So this way we can solve this misconception, but still because of politics, because of bad media, because of business, because of I want to say culture or religion. I'm sorry, I respect. I'm a religious man, but because of bad practitioner of religion, we have misconception. We have this gap. So we have to minimize it. How we can minimize it? We can be a good friend. We can work together. We can move hands on hands. Then people can trust us and they can believe all of our initiative.
Thank you, Sharif. And for those of you who are interested in watching some episodes of the World Talent Economy Forum program, I have posted links to several of them here. First is Sharif's excellent interview with our 2020 US presidential candidates, Charlie Cam and Liz Parrish. And furthermore, I would like to highlight two debates in which I also participated. This was a debate on artificial intelligence, followed up by a debate on space colonization. Both of them took place right before the new year in December of 2021. So I greatly enjoyed the experience on both of those occasions because of the depth of discussion and the quality of the arguments that were made on both sides. Go ahead, Jason.
So I've done a couple of shows on there. I think it would be a good idea for a lot more of us from the USTP to try to do some of his shows and, get in front of the wider, global audience. And that I need to thank David Shoemaker, actually, because he's the reason why I found Sharif. David Shoemaker was doing his show, and a notification said, "Hey, your friend David's doing something." So I went and watched, and that's it was a good thing. So thanks. Back to you.
Yes, certainly. Thank you, Jason. And I also wanted to give Ben Ballweg the opportunity to ask some questions or make some remarks.
Hi, Sharif. Thanks for being here, whatever time you are in compared to whatever time we're in. I was poking around the World Talent Economy Forum website before this to get some questions going. I saw about the Al-Noor Academy and also the Industry Academia Partnerships team under the Academy and Industry Relationship tab. And I wanted to know more about those two things. They sounded like a really some collaborations with a lot of potential.
Yes. Okay, thank you. First, I want to give one good news. In our Nikola Tesla Technology Conference, final day, we have debate. So I want to invite our honorable chairman in this debate and world champion debater, Harish Natarajan, we invite. He do debate against AI in IBM debate. He win. Very famous debaters. Sir Sadiq Abdul Rahman, he is youth ministers, and definitely he is also Cambridge and Oxford Ivy champion. The famous debater will join, and our debaters from Transhumanist Parties and World Talent Economy Forums, they can join, and hopefully it will be very interesting. Second things, Al-Noor Academy, actually we have a registered entity in Malaysia from 2017. Because in Malaysia, if I want to take any projects or anything move forward, I need a legal identity. So we have an academy. So Al-Noor Academy, this academy actually do all of the academic activities, research, training, and consulting. And under this umbrella, we developed this World Talent Economy Forum, School of Talent Economy, Asia Research and Development Institute. It's like a subsidiary of Al-Noor Academy. So this way we have four projects we are moving forward. Industry academy relationship, this is one of my famous and very important things. And I told you, let's say we are working with Energy Ministry, we are working with ICT Ministry, we are working with Prime Minister Office, different countries, developing nations, and some very, very good universities. So based on the industrial demand, based on the different industrial need, we actually help them. Let's say now Malaysian industry need 100,000 drone pilot. From my institution, from my academy, we provide training. We start to provide training 100,000 drone pilot in Malaysia, inside Malaysia. So this is the industrial demand we are fulfilling. Developing nations has huge gap. I always say that developing nations has lot of problem. It's need lot of solutions. So I always welcome all of the entrepreneurs in developing world. Perhaps you get more room. You can prove yourself. I just want to give one example. Let's say when I was young, we saw that Telenor not performing well that time in Europe. But Grameenphone, they start Grameenphone projects in Bangladesh and with mobile telephone company, and they become very, very successful inside Bangladesh. Now, then they move to Malaysia as a DG. Then they go to Pakistan and everywhere. So that is one of the way. Everyone need technology, right? Every country need technology. So if you have a better technology, we want to welcome. So academy, they can innovate technology, and they can help, their research center can help, and we can integrate it with industry. That is the way we are developing this forum. We always invite government agencies, we always invite corporations, and we always invite thinkers like you. And if we work together, I think we can solve many problems. But we need more smart people. I always said that we have many hungry people. We need more smart people like you. When smart people and hungry people work together and they team up together, they become champion.
That's quite an intriguing idea. Get smart people and hungry people to team up. Hopefully the hungry people will not stay hungry for long. Now, I am intrigued by this concept of the talent economy, and you certainly alluded to it in your prior remarks. But this entire endeavor is organized on a non-monetary foundation in that you indeed offer all of this free programming and free opportunities to hear from some of the most interesting minds in the world. And instead of money being the currency of this economy, talent is the currency of this economy. So it is quite an appealing concept for me because we run the US Transhumanist Party in quite a similar way. Until very recently, we haven't even accepted any donations. We operated based on the contributions of our volunteers. Now we are accepting small donations via the YouTube super chats, for instance, but we use them for incidental expenses like our web hosting. But the vast majority of our work is still done by volunteers, and it is still performed in this collaborative way where we exchange ideas, we exchange information, we inform one another of our respective projects and see where people are able to contribute and what they're willing to contribute. So my question for you, Sharif, is for a model like this that works on the basis of a talent economy, how does one make this model sustainable for the long term? How does one ensure that there continues to be a strong flow of talent within the talent economy, that people continue to participate and collaborate on this voluntary basis?
Thank you, sir. Very good questions. I'm sharing my personal experience. 2017, 7 December, my father died, and he died for lack of treatment. I cannot manage. I have money, but I cannot manage intensive care unit for him. And he died in front of me. So it's given me a new learning. I'm very honest. Yes, I have money. I have everything. It's given me a new learning that money is not everything. And that time I decided that I have to work for human progressions. My father was politician. When he died, he was a very, very successful lawyer. But in his bank account that time, he has less than $3. Nothing. He was politician. Everybody say politician corrupted, this, that. You can check. He do not have any record or anything for corruption. Everybody says, everybody love to blame politician, but I am a son of a politician. I told you, he has less than $3 in his bank account. We do not have nothing. I have money, but I cannot save my father. So that day, me and my wife decide we will work for human progressions. We do not need bank saving. I do not have. We do not need expensive car. I do not have. We do not need house. I do not have. I do not have. Honestly, you can check. I do not have these things, all of the luxurious things. But what I value human progression. It gives me a lot of positive energy. When my father died, thousands of people run. They come to me. They cry. They say, hey, I always say, hey, he's a very successful lawyer. What he did with his money? How come? But many orphans come and they said, he support me for educations. Many people come, he support me for our marriage. Many people come, he helped me to develop my house. So I can understand. Before that, I never understand my father. So when I started my World Talent Economy Forum, Until today, I never asked any donations or anything for anyone. So, uh, my wife, I'm very honest with you, I want to give her a special thanks. She sold all of her ornaments and she said, work for people. My mother, she said, I do not want to go for Hajj, Muslim go for Hajj performing. This is the money you put and work for people. Then it gives me a lot of energy in my mind that my family with me, they are supporting me. And until today, until yes, I have a good job. I earn a good amount. Me, my wife also do jobs, but our projects 100% free. What is the benefit? Benefit like I can engage more people. I never go for any business strategy. I am very honest with my people. They know that this man is honest. I never cheat. I never go for all of the think tank what they are doing. I am very much open. And I said, I never value that I have a very expensive house, I have a very expensive cars, I have a very expensive things, and my wife also support me. So I believe we need to create new economic model. Trust me, what we are seeing in COVID-19 situations, we have billions and $1 trillion company, but we cannot save human lives. What you do with your money, right? What we see in Ukraine war, what we see in Middle East war, what you do with money. And I am actually astonished, these global leaders, how they sleep. They are killing people, right? In the war, they are killing people. So how they sleep. But trust me, I think, but maybe I'm happiest person in the world. And I feel I'm very powerful because many people actually love me. Many people help me. This campus, you can see very advanced campus. I do nothing. People come and they say, hey, you need this kind of campus. We will develop for you. So what I do with money, people love is important. I said, I need a big lab. I do not have money. People say, hey, this is the lab we set up for you. Malaysian government, they say, hey, for your, we provide all of the support. So what I do with only the money actually burn relationship. I do not want to say business is bad, but if you have an honest intention, I think people trust and they help.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Sharif. And you articulated many important points. One of them is these days, money cannot buy everything. And that is especially the case in the realm of health, because there are still so many disease conditions that we do not know how to cure. We are still all, unfortunately, subject to the ravages of biological aging. And the story of your father was particularly poignant because you had money that could have helped him, but the society you were living in and the society we are living in most likely would not have been advanced enough to save him. And that's the predicament that eventually awaits all of us unless we can pool our efforts and figure out a way to resolve it. And certainly, the more talented people are brought into our ranks to exchange ideas, to work on projects that overcome diseases and overcome other areas of human suffering, the better off we will be. But I think for many of us in all countries of the world, both the so-called developed countries, though I think even those are underdeveloped countries, and the developing countries, we now recognize that money should not be the sole metric of success. And certainly most people realize money is not the sole prerequisite for happiness, but it's not even the sole prerequisite for survival. And if you think about the medical advances we have today, they are woefully insufficient, but they are better than some of the richest men in history had several centuries ago. So a king of a European country in the 16th century or in the 17th century would have died of certain ailments that are often curable today. So we should acknowledge some of our good fortune, but we should also acknowledge the long way that humankind has to go. And these kinds of non-monetary efforts, the talent economy, the exchange of ideas and insights and possibilities for new ways of doing things, that is what is going to get us to that better world where we hopefully will be healthier, happier, live in a society of greater abundance. Jason, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I just want to comment on this. When you take money out of the equation, it really allows for the elimination of a whole host of problems. And when you're not in it for money, it allows people to trust you easier because they could tell you're not in it to, with a subliminal motive, and that's what I think. Even though granted that for the USCP, it's probably slowed our progress and our growth to not use money. But again, we can tell we're not in it for the money. So, who's watching knows we're in it for the right reasons, so I think that's good. So back to you.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you, Jason. And I agree that having an organization that is entirely or predominantly non-monetary takes out a lot of the incentive conflicts that sometimes may arise. So I think one of the traps that often exists in contemporary society is that people actually follow the advice of doing what they love for a living, and they take their passion or their interest and turn it into a career. But the problem is within that career field, there exists certain institutional incentives and disincentives. There exist certain power dynamics. There exist certain players whom, if you get on the wrong side of, they're going to make your life more difficult and make it more challenging for you to achieve your objectives in that field, which is supposed to be your field of passion. So a lot of people either get frustrated and disillusioned about what they were previously passionate for, or they decide to change their ways and become more cynical or instrumental kinds of operators. They start to figure out ways to conform to these incentives that are designed to secure their incomes or increase their incomes, even though that might lead them to act in ways that actually sabotage the goal that they entered that field to pursue originally. And as an example, Aubrey de Grey has raised concerns about such incentives in biogerontology research, where a lot of scientists, they enter the field wanting to cure aging, they enter the field wanting to alleviate the burden of many terrible diseases that people face. But because of the ecosystem of research grants and the fact that most government grants do not get funded, and even private institutions, academic institutions have a lot of hesitancy and a lot of restrictions on what research gets funded, and the journals want to publish only spectacular, positive results. They don't want to publish results about something that was tried and was not successful. So the incentive is to get some sort of short-term result, which is quite readily predictable and sufficiently positive that some journal would be interested in it. An agency like the National Institutes of Health would fund it via a grant. And at the same time, the decision makers in government or in academia would say, yes, this is a respectable, responsible project. There's not a whole lot of risk, because if they risk their funding on something that's ambitious but that could fail, then if it does fail, a lot of stakeholders will complain about them, quote, wasting money. So what ends up happening is a lot of researchers end up being hyper cautious. They end up being very incremental in the kind of research that they engage in, but they also end up being very cutthroat with regard to their competition in academia, because so many people are competing for this limited pool of funds. And in so many fields, I see this, where people enter with very good motives, but they end up being channeled in very suboptimal directions. So my question for you, Sharif, is how can the talent economy counteract that? How can the talent economy take these people who have good motives, or who originally had good motives, and give them a way to interact with their colleagues or people in other disciplines in ways that preserves that original integrity and those ambitious goals with which people would have entered their fields of choice?
Excellent question. I will give you in two ways. First, in a practical way. Second, in a spiritual way. You know that developing nations believe in spiritual knowledge. First thing, solution is developing nations. How? When I work in United Group, one of the largest group in Bangladesh. So that time in 2009, our chairman and everyone, they are looking for high quality researcher, because their corporation growing. They have money, but they do not have a good researcher. So if I'm sure that developing nations also have their own resources. Money is not issues. Initiative, who can take initiative honestly, who can consistent, who can contribute on nations. If you want to contribute for India, for Bangladesh, for Vietnam, for Malaysia, welcome. I'm sure there are a lot of opportunity for this kind of innovative project. There are many successful entrepreneurs, they're gonna help you. I'm sure. Personally, I also get a lot of support from entrepreneurs. They have positive mind. You know, entrepreneurs have positive mind. And trust me, when people make a lot of money, they want to contribute. And they have to know that is the way Transhumanist Party and World Talent Economy Forum can work. We can educate them that if you can contribute for research, so it will help you. It will help your people. It will help your nations. So I want to welcome all of the scientists, researchers. If you are passionate, do not come for short-term goal. Passionate. You really want to be honest and want to contribute for the developing nations. Resources available, money also available, people also available, and I'm happy I will help you to connect with exactly the right organization. They are looking for right innovator. Second things, spiritually. So when I grow, I get very good learning from my family. My family said, if your niyat, like my motive is good, we call niyat is good. So my motive is good, my heart is good, and I can do the consistent work. The whole world run behind you to support me. This is the word. Yes. So I learned from my mother, and I do it. Trust me, I never run behind central bank. Many people run. They come to me. They send me email, they send me paper. Hey, we want to work with you. Many people only die that how they can connect. I never go. So that is the things I learned from my mother. If my niyat, my motive is good, my heart for my work is good, and I can do the hard work and consistency, the whole world, the whole universe, what we call connecting dots, is going to support you. So I request is some kind of spiritual things you can practice. Trust me, you will get result. those who are researchers. Yeah.
Thank you, Sharif. And this is quite intriguing advice because we are discussing a new paradigm of organizing collaboration and organizing systems of talent exchange and talent growth and project development, because what you are describing is the creation of a network, and this network can be distributed all over the world. To some extent, it's less centralized than conventional organizations, but what it needs is a nexus or multiple nexi of information exchange and discussion and idea sharing. And that's what the World Talent Economy Forum provides. That is what the US Transhumanist Party provides by donating our time, by engaging in these discussions. We find out what kinds of interesting people are out there, what kinds of ideas are they originating, what kinds of projects are they working on, and this gives us more specific thoughts about what could each one of us do next, what people should we engage with further to perhaps start a new collaboration. And those who are in it just for the money, those who are just looking at the short term, at the next immediate source of income or the bottom line of their company or whether they're going to get the next research grant, they're missing out on these kinds of interactions and these kinds of possibilities. And I think it's very important to cultivate this distributed ecosystem of talent, particularly because that is how we get the new innovative ideas. And then the next step, of course, is how do we maintain a collaborative environment as these ideas get implemented? Because let's say somebody does go ahead and try to instantiate a particular concept, build a technology or build a company, or take that concept into an academic institution or into a research setting. Then all of a sudden they are going to be faced with all of the same old incentive problems, or if they take it into government, if they try to run a political campaign on the basis of those ideas. The incentives involved in political campaigns are unfortunately some of the most vicious, as you are well aware of, Sharif, and of course as anybody who has followed American politics is certainly well aware. So how does one preserve this volunteer spirit and the spirit of good faith information exchange and respect for different views and respect for the other people in that system as one goes from the idea stage toward the implementation stage, especially as one comes into contact with more conventional organizations? And one reason why I'm asking you this question is because you have a lot of experience with this, Sharif. You've worked with governments, you've worked with universities, you've worked with nonprofit institutions. So how does one preserve this purity of intention, the good motives that you mentioned when one interacts with these institutions?
Okay. First thing, from developing world, I want to say many entrepreneurs, many government agencies, they are very much open-minded because they want to learn. So any unique like thinker or entrepreneurs, they want to join. First thing first, transforming masses is very important. What I want to do. Second thing, record. Like, okay, previously I did this, this, and this. And third thing, understand culture. Like, understand culture. I can understand, let's say, developed world, maybe they are not religious. But example, maybe a developing nation's entrepreneur, he's rich and he believes I become rich because of my religion. So we have to respect each other. I think, and this way we can move. And final things like, actually, how should I say politely? Like, it's my understanding, this COVID, this Ukraine war, and all of the indicators, a massive change actually coming. This is also good, like Transhumanist Party is like a small organization like me, because we are progressive, we are positive. Massive transformation is coming. So those who are unique, those who are positive, those who love to work for people, they will survive. Those who hungry, but hungry for money and profit, maybe they will lose their position soon. It's one of my core understanding. So I know you have many good people, many good characters, many good intelligent people. I just want to request, involve with people as much as possible. Engage with people. More you engage with people, people gonna help you to maintain your purity, maintain your idea, fulfill your dream. It's all about people. And if we can understand people pain, people can understand our pain. So, and I want to welcome everyone in developing nation. Trust me, many things you can do. They have a lot of problem, need lot of solution.
Yes, thank you, Sharif. And the key message here is that the world is changing rapidly, and it's engulfed by numerous crises now, including the COVID-19 pandemic, the war in Ukraine, and the existing power players, so to speak, the people in existing institutions who have less than admirable motives may be displaced soon unless they start to take on some of these more genuine, more collaborative motives that we discussed. And those of us who do pursue the improvement of humankind in good faith are going to be the ones, hopefully, who remain to influence the future direction of our species and chart a way out of these conflicts. And that's a very inspiring message. It reminds me of the need for intellectual diversity in the world, in any societal or political environment, because there come about crises where existing conventional ways of thinking or proposed remedies simply fail to solve the problems. And certainly we see that quite clearly with the crises that the world is facing today. So the world needs unconventional thinkers. The world needs people who are willing to put forth constructive solutions where mainstream discourse is just all about taking a side. You're either for Russia or you're for Ukraine, for example. And a rational person would not want to be for either side in the war, but would want to figure out a way to end the war, to stop the killing. And that's just one example. There are many others in American politics. There are some who would wish to convince you that you either should be for the Republican Party or for the Democratic Party. And if you're not for one of them, then you surely must be for the other. And that makes you an extremely evil and toxic individual. Whereas, in fact, there is such a wide spectrum of views that is possible on all of the political issues that both of these parties discuss. But one could figure out ways to approach those issues which doesn't alienate half the country and which can actually solve the problems that are unfortunately just being utilized as wedges to divide one half of the American population against the other half. And certainly demagogues in other countries do this too. So we need a different way of approaching ideas and projects and talent, particularly so that we could figure out modes of functioning that survive these crises. Whereas, of course, a lot of politicians are in trouble right now, and they're going to remain in trouble. Perhaps some of them might not stay in office for another year or for another 2 years, depending on who they are, of course. But I would not be surprised if in 2 or 3 years, the major players on the world political stage are going to be very different from the ones we see in the news today. And yet I hope we will still be around to offer ideas and comment on developments. And this mode of functioning is what we need to preserve our objectivity, to preserve our integrity, and to continue to connect with people, to continue to discover new possibilities, new approaches to these problems. So thank you, Sharif, for those insights. And now I want to see if David has any additional comments to offer.
Oh, I do, as a matter of fact. So while we were talking, I was thinking about the entrenched parties here in this country, Republican, Democrat, or you have some of that as you go different other places, or if you look at it in the business world, you have the big monoliths. But the world is changing, as you were saying, Sharif, and Gennady as well. And I see some encouragement, because as you were talking, I was thinking about open source software development. I mean, software is dominated by big players, yet people working together and building on ideas and leaving the code open and letting somebody else build on those ideas and leaving the code open is gradually taking off and gradually making inroads, even in the midst of these great big players that are out there with their big marketing budgets and so forth. So I think those are good things from the U.S. Transhumanist Party's point of view, as we use our open source concept, and World Talent Economy Forum does the same. And we keep at it, and we keep building, and we keep letting others build on top of what we're building. I think it's going to have a good outcome. Now, another question that I was thinking about too, as we were talking about the talent economy. And I understand that you have a book that you're working on, and that book is going to talk about the talent economy. So I think that's going to be a really good way to get information out, as well as what you're doing with conferences and what you're doing with the online forum. But maybe you could tell us a little bit about the book and what you hope to do with that.
Yeah, it's actually a scientific book. Thank you for your question. It's purely scientific book. Many scientists from around the world, they're actually writing different chapter with me. And definitely what we learned from this World Talent Economy Forum, we published it as a scientific paper. Look, I told you, I grow in a place that we have many talented people, especially developing nations has many talent. Yes, we have many challenges because lack of opportunities. That's why I joined Transhumanist Party, because I find it's a very good opportunity for my people. They can learn, they can grow. My grassroots level people, they do not know how to develop a good policy, right? And they do not have maybe money to pay for big consultant. So I say, hey, it's free, take it, utilize it. And they have a good knowledge, become their good friend. So this talent economy, very important things. Yes, remotely now many Silicon Valley company, US company, they are utilizing a lot of talented from around the world, but still believe there are more talent people. They need more room. They need more support. Yes, big corporations, they have more money, they have more opportunity. I'm very small. But I believe that this talent economy actually same what we are discussing about transhumanist concept. People can change their life with better science, engineering, and technology. If people involve with good technology, they can economically survive. They can help their family. We can be more transparent. Our nations can be more efficient, more effective, more productive, right? So last 10 years, my country's economic change, they become South Asian economical tiger. What is the issue behind that? They go with the concept digital Bangladesh, right? Everything they want to digitalized. The government office, lot of corruption, lot of things, they change it with digitalizations. I know that now we have many talented officials in the government agencies. Our banking system change, our corporate structure change. Mobile telecom give us a very, very good support in our economy. So when modern science, engineering, and technology with the proper peoples, we work together, we move forward, it create human progressions. It give you more economical sustainability. This is talent economy. I said that Transhumanist Party and my concept has no difference. Only my audience is different. Maybe I know more my audience. I can understand their pain. I can know where they live, how they live, what they need. That is the things. My audience different, but your idea, your way of thinking, my idea, my way of thinking. So maybe it's a talent economy book. Maybe most of the story already you published, but we will publish in the new way. Maybe, yeah, I'm happy. My country Prime Minister Office team, they are writing chapter on that. uh, Central bank, energy ministries, many bank, many universities from Pakistan, from Malaysia, from India, from Bangladesh, everybody writing, everybody contributing, and they are learning. Good point is that they are learning. I have many people uh, like after I started this World Talent Economy Forum, first time they write research paper, the parents become very happy. Hey, he published the research paper, it's free, and he get a very good admissions in USA or in Canada or in Australia. So that is the way. I say that I do not need anything in my life, and I discuss with my family. uh, I told you I do not need housing, money, or expensive car or anything. I only need human progressions. I will be really happy with all of your effort if I can change 1 million people life only with educations. Only with education. Developing nations has resources. They have to know how to utilize it. So that is talent economy. Simple talent economy. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you, Sharif. And we certainly applaud your motive to help achieve the progress of humankind. This is what we stand for at the US Transhumanist Party, and you quite aptly identified the similarities between our modes of functioning, although you do have an additional audience because you reach out to populations in the developing world which don't have as much access to advanced technology as most of our members do. At the same time, I'm curious as to how you bridge the awareness gap. And this is a gap that exists sometimes irrespective of the amount of technology available, because there is now quite an abundance of good information online that one can access for free. Sometimes one has to have discernment to distinguish the good from the bad, the genuinely helpful information from the spurious or the fallacious information or the sensationalized depictions of a particular subject. But nonetheless, there is so much good information out there from a variety of sources available for free. And yet, it seems to me that on the majority of subjects, the majority of people, even people with good intentions, are not aware of the information that is out there. And I can say this about transhumanism, for example. We have observed that there are many more implicit transhumanists as compared to explicit transhumanists, the people who use that term to identify themselves. And I would venture to say that the majority of implicit transhumanists haven't even encountered the term transhumanism, probably because they were immersed in a particular set of sources or a particular body of information which simply didn't intersect with ours, or their communities didn't intersect with ours. But I imagine one could make that statement about any field, any discipline, any network, even the network that you're trying to build, which is quite broad. And yet there are people in the world who haven't heard of the World Talent Economy Forum yet. So how does one bridge that gap? This would be a useful discussion to have for both of our initiatives and for any organization, any group of people that is trying to expand its reach.
Very good questions. Actually, this is important. And first thing, I will identify my organization objective. Then I will give you your answer. So my objective, let's say, when I first visit a school in Harrods, they actually produce 11 prime ministers, Winston Churchill, Jawaharlal Nehru from Britain. So I meet with their principal and I say that, what is the issue behind that? How your school produced too much prime minister from UK? And what is the reason behind that? They say that, because I'm an academic person, so I love to learn from academic people. They said, he said that we do not teach anything. We only create vision. People are so powerful. People are very strong. They know what to do. But create a vision in front of them, in front of him, individual person. From that day, I only engage with the people from my grassroots level and I create vision. I never try to give them extra learning, extra burden, what is good, what is bad, ethical. The ethics they will fix. If they have a good visions, let's say someone want to be a good politicians. Yes, World Talent Economy Forum bringing Transhumanist Party, bringing Mr. Kennedy. I say, hey, he's a very honest man, very sincere, his dress up, everything is very disciplined. You are actually very popular in our community. Yeah. So they also invite you in our parliament. So if he become parliament member of Bangladesh, maybe we get more change. Okay. So that's interesting. So fact is that from World Talent Economy Forum, we are creating vision. We are bringing good example. Mr. David Schumacher, Kennedy, Tom Rose, Dr. Talib Raphael, Mr. Rob, David, many good example we are creating. And we are like open source. Anybody can be your student. Anybody can join with you if you have time. And you can be the mentors. Like they need good example. That's it. So that's why, yes, I know there are right wing, left wing, this research gap, that research gap. But my job to create a good vision for my nations. Example, once upon a time, Bangladesh like a marketing nations. They do not have anything, corporate cultures and everything. They only do joint venture with developed nations and sell their product. Finish. I give them hope. No, focus on research and innovation. That's why in this session, I invite you. Hey, if you have a good innovators, if you have a good researchers, join. We can introduce you exactly the right corporation. So we know there are many gaps, many challenges. There is a scientific issues, but theoretical issues and many things. But I love to take action. That's why you see that Nikola Tesla Technology Conference. We publish many papers. We give thousands of people scholarship. Try, write something. Even you fail, again try. Even you fail, again try. Try to understand my audience is different. Maybe this is first time they are engaging with scientific committee. See, if I bring some complex things, they will be afraid and they will run away. So this will be my big failure. But when they mature enough, they can decide. They are smart that this is good things, this is bad things. So World Talent Economy Forum, School of Talent Economy, whatever the projects we are developing, my major objective, create a positive example, and I need more of your involvement, because maybe I'm not a smart people like you. You are smart, right? I'm not smart. I'm actually developing ecosystem. So you people are smart. Join with us. Change human life. They will give you return. Don't worry. Do not think about money, time, energy, anything. I'm sure they will give you return. And this way, I think we can overcome many scientific challenge. I do not want to bring them many challenging things. I want to bring many positive informations. So is it change like any Nepali student? He get admissions a American university only because of scientific contribution. Is it positive chance for him? He get or she get a remote job, or first time he involved with NASA, or first time he involved with Singapore leadership institutions or National University Singapore. It's a positive chance. So I believe that if we treat the developing nations in that way, they can do more work.
Excellent. Thank you, Sharif, for these observations. Certainly, that's quite insightful in terms of how to approach potential talented people who perhaps have yet to discover the full extent of their talents or have yet to be provided with the resources by which they could exercise their talents. You're certainly doing remarkable work in facilitating this. I want to highlight a comment that Ben Balweg made in our internal chat. He wrote, "I think everlasting life is totally worth the sweat equity of my volunteerism." So I completely agree, and thank you, Ben. One of the reasons why I do what I do as chairman of the U.S. Transhumanist Party is I realize an organization like this is essential to catalyzing the progress of humankind, including the progress of science and technology in the longevity field, so that we can achieve indefinite life extension and we can motivate progress outside of the conventional institutional incentives and constraints. And I would say it's important to recognize there are some good incentives in conventional institutions as well. Universities produce good research. Private companies certainly are able to create products, create medical treatments, and disseminate them to the public. Sometimes they face regulatory constraints, but there are certain governmental systems that work better than others. Some of them may be competent at least certain portions of safety regulation, for instance. That's one of the reasons why in the United States we generally don't get adulterated medicines. We can generally expect with a fair degree of reliability that the medicines we purchase are going to contain the ingredients that they are represented as containing, and not some sort of contaminant that would endanger human life, with some exceptions, unfortunately. But overall, institutions can do a good job in certain prescribed tasks that they focus on. But there are also a variety of tasks, a variety of approaches that they miss. And this is where we fill in the gaps. This is where organizations like ours step in and contribute that vision that can help us get to paradigm shifts like longevity escape velocity. And Ben, since you made that comment, if you would care to elaborate upon it, or perhaps use it to lead to another subject area, feel free to do that.
I hope I can just let it sit right there. I do have another. I'm going to go straight for this other one. I'll go back to Sharif if this is okay. Sharif, I've just been talking with an old friend of mine, and she has gotten quite good at writing USAID grant proposals. And I wondered if what World Talent Economy Forum was doing warranted checking out a USAID grant. Sorry, USAID is part of the U.S. Department of State. Just making sure everybody knows.
Thank you. No, definitely, we can look around this kind of opportunities. But again, I just want to share, like, you will be really happy if you visit Malaysia, if you visit our Singapore office, or if you visit even our Bangladesh universities and everything. I'm very much blessed how I'm getting support from local ecosystem. My contract is very simple. I do not need money, but I need all of the support. And they are organizing for my students. They are organizing for my people. But if global community and some good organizations want to work with us, we are open. One thing I can ensure that I will ensure a transparent process for everyone, for who want to contribute through World Talent Economy Forum, especially for the youth.
Yes, thank you, Sharif. And one question that I have for you that I think is important to address in any endeavor that cultivates talent or connections among talented people is, what do you think primarily holds people back? Because there is quite an abundance of talent in the world, but not all of that talent gets actualized, unfortunately. And while there are some people who are able to flourish and contribute and achieve on the basis of their talents, there are others who are stymied in some way, who feel like they don't have that ability, whether because of external restraints or internal constraints that they feel within themselves. So what would you say holds people back these days that you have observed, and how do we overcome these limitations?
Thank you, sir. Very good question. Very, very good questions. Because in developing nations, I told you we have a lot of problem as well. Problem not from much people. Problem actually from bottom, like the top level, not from the bottom side. If we follow the Singapore success, I work with them closely. Three things they follow. Number one, Singapore also, they do not have nothing. From there, they make a very good model. Number one, they focused on meritocracy. Example, if you go to India or Bangladesh, I'm sorry, you find that they have a problem. They only give opportunity. Who is my son? Who is my daughters? Who is my relatives? Who is my things? Singapore strictly stop it. Meritocracy. Second thing, they reduce corruption, 0%. Corruption. Okay. So, example, developing nations has corruption. I'm honest with you, and this is actually a barrier for talent people. And Singapore reduces. That's why they are successful. Third things, what I am following, example, from right wing, from the left wing, better policy they adapted for their nation. Best policy they adapted. These are the three things Singapore follow, and they become successful. I also share the same thing with Bangladesh, same thing with India, or same thing with Vietnam. Why don't we? We have a good model here. Why don't we reduce these three things and we give good opportunity for talented people? This is actually challenges, and another things I want to say to the talented people in these developing nations, never be negative. Fail and try. Fail, again try. Fail, again try. Positive things come. What I say about my debate, every debate I lose. What I say about my corporation debate, everything I lose. What I say my World Talent Economy Forum, many people actually refuse me. Then I find, oh, Transhumanist Party, very positive. Many people still they are refusing me. They reject me. Someone said bad things about me. Someone say, hey, go, wasting my time. Someone say, hey, I don't have time. Someone say, how much you can pay? I say, I do not have money. How can? But we have still good people, right? So that is the way. I also they have to take initiative. You and me cannot change everything. What I say, we can create vision for every single individual person, a good vision. You can be a good scientist, you can be a good doctor, you can be a good engineer, you can be a good politician like Mr. Kennedy, you can be a good intellectual like Mr. David Schumacher or my other colleagues today. We can create example, but they also do, they have to take responsibility, and I have to understand I cannot deserve that I get a simple life like Mr. David Schumacher. He's an American man. So I have a lot of struggle. Every moment I have a lot of struggle. And I enjoy it because I'm moving and I'm getting barrier. I'm moving, I'm getting barrier. So mentally, talent people, they have to be very strong. I have my pain. Personally, I have a lot of pain, but I never give up. So this may be one of the good solutions for talent people from developing nations. We can try, but they also have to try.
Yes. Thank you, Sharif. And this is quite profound. So from the standpoint of a policy environment that brings out the best in people's talents, we need a meritocracy. We need to clamp down on corruption to the extent that is possible. And we need to be open to insights from people regardless of their partisan affiliations or partisan leanings. So take insights from everybody, irrespective of political party, but also on a more general level, including on a personal level, we need persistence because we are all going to encounter obstacles in life, some of us to a greater extent than others. Certainly the obstacles we face do vary based on the country that we're in, our backgrounds, our immediate environments, the resources available to us. But I don't think life is quite easy for anybody in the world yet, because we are not in the transhuman era yet. And each of us, of course, has dealt with our shares of disappointments, obstacles, losses. And Sharif, you related to us the loss of your father and how that prompted a major change in course for you because you realize there are certain problems that cannot be solved with money. And I think the key for any talented person, for any person who wishes to accomplish change in the world, is to figure out ways to persist in the face of adversity and in the face of loss. So thank you for pointing that out, Sharif. Sometimes achievement is not a matter of a linear path from here to there. Sometimes one has to try many approaches and face disappointments and yet find the motivation to keep going. And hopefully our interactions, both for the participants as well as the audience members, the people who are just watching but are interested in what they could do, could motivate everyone involved to persist toward their goals, whatever those goals might be, as long as they're positive, as long as they're constructive, as long as they give one meaning and promise to provide some sort of external benefit to humanity, whether now or later. I hope that these conversations give such people the motivation, the inspiration to keep going. So thank you very much. And now, as we endeavor to bring our discussion today to a close, I would like to ask each of our panelists to provide some concluding remarks. Let us start with Jason Geringer.
I just put in there, if you haven't quit yet, as long as you're still trying, then you haven't failed yet. So it ain't over if you keep going. But your talent economy forum, I think, has got a bright future. There's all kinds of tools coming out that is going to make it better, blockchain and everything. There's a thing called decentralized pictures that it has a community that the community makes movies and then they sell it through NFTs, and you could probably end up doing something similar. I think would be awesome. And you mentioned Singapore. I wanted to say, that's pretty interesting. The technocracy that they got is I think is really interesting. And there's a theory that there's going to be an economic singularity coming up in the future where there's like 50% unemployment and, unavoidable. It's not like there's, because there's so many jobs that has been taken up by robots and automation. So what are we going to do then? Because we don't, I don't foresee our democracy the way it is, just, being able to go hunky-dory with 50% unemployment. So, that's why I've been looking at the technocracy. It looks pretty interesting. It's kind of like the wisdom of the crowd, but it's like an educated wisdom of the crowd. So it's like a good group that's been, purposely formed and, so that we're all educated and everything. So I think that's pretty good, idea. I look forward to your Tesla thing. I'll be there if you send me an invite. Maybe we can get some ambassadors there. Our ambassador to Germany, I know, likes flying drones. So maybe you might want to talk to him about how to train drone pilots. I don't know. He's a pretty cool guy, too. I can't pronounce his name. It's Tolfdir or something.
Tobias Teufel. I've had an interview with him on my YouTube channel as well, which I shall post shortly for those who are interested in watching. But yes, Jason, thank you for your remarks. And with regard to technocracy, which is essentially ruled by the technically skilled or technically competent, I agree that some variant of technocracy will be needed to solve various problems facing the human species. That is to say, it should be evident to anyone who considers political systems that problems should be addressed by those who are knowledgeable about how to address those problems. Of course, the big challenge is how does one structure a truly meritocratic system where the technocrats don't become just another privileged class that sets up barriers to entry.
An oligarchy.
Yes, like an oligarchy. And of course, there is the famous iron law of oligarchy in sociology and political science, which essentially says that any system, at least involving conventional humans up to this point in our history, will necessarily become oligarchic over time. So how does one in a technocracy preserve the salutary features of free societies like individual rights, democratic decision making, participatory governance? All of those are important challenges to address. So what I would like to see is a kind of small L libertarian technocracy where each person still has the ability in day-to-day life to make their own decisions, to chart their own course. At the same time, the people who are more knowledgeable get more input on the issues that they're more knowledgeable about. But this is a very interesting and relevant topic for sure. And Sharif's example of the approaches in Singapore is certainly quite instructive. Now let us go to Ben Ballweg for his concluding remarks.
Sharif, I'll just thank you for being here today. And I'm pretty darn sure that sometime it'll work out that the session that you invite me to, it'll be the right topic. I'll be available, and we'll see you then. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. And now let us go to David Shoemaker for his concluding remarks.
Yes, Sharif, I want to thank you also for being here. And thank you for sharing your vision. And thank you for leading by example. And I know that example is doing some good, because I love being on the forums when you have some of your students that are on with us as well. And I can see what you put into them and how they express themselves. You're doing some good work, my friend.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I have one request, like if Transhumanist Party, they want to offer courses, research project, or if you need intern, I can offer in through World Talent Economy Forum in my college and all of the developing world. Now I say that we need cybersecurity experts, so you can offer training for cybersecurity. You can offer training for drone pilot. You can offer training for artificial intelligence things. And we closely work with Malaysian government, human resource development departments, and I'm sure they're going to accept us, and we will introduce it to this my students in grassroots level.
Yes. Thank you, Sharif. And with regard to your offer, I would also like to extend that offer to any of our audience members who are watching and who may have expertise in the subjects that Sharif mentioned, for instance, drone development or cybersecurity. If you are interested in being an instructor for the World Talent Economy Forum, please get in contact with Sharif. And likewise, I think many of us would be happy to teach a course virtually about transhumanism and some of the policy ideas that the U.S. Transhumanist Party has been pursuing. So thank you very much to Sharif for joining us today. Thank you to our esteemed panelists, David, Jason, and Ben. And thank you for all of the work that you do, free of cost to the public, free of cost to students and up and coming talented individuals who hopefully will leverage these ideas and these conversations to make the world a better place. And thank you to our audience today for joining us. This has certainly been an enlightening conversation, the kind that we seek to hold on our virtual Enlightenment Salons every Sunday at 1 p.m. U.S. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And until next time, live long and prosper.